So the very first thing that we do, and what I tell people today is 90% of filtering the pond is physical filtration. So if you build a pond, you dig a hole and you fill it with water, it's a magnet for debris. So you're gonna get the corn cobs from across the farmer's field coming into it. You're gonna get the leaves from the oak tree. You're gonna get, you know, the pollen over here. You're gonna get fish waste. You're gonna get all of these leaves, twigs, sticks, all that kind of debris is gonna get into the pond regardless. So how do we get it out? Well, the old-fashioned way was to, you know, dive down to the bottom pond, unclog your pump, get it off the bottom of the pond. Now, all of a sudden, we're in the mid-90s, so 93, 94, the skimmer came around. And just like a swimming pool skimmer, it's constantly skimming the surface of the water. So you get a leaf over here, you get a twig over here, you get some solids into fish waste. The water is getting pulled constantly into the skimmer. And so our pump is sitting on the bottom of the skimmer. So there's no external, someone mentioned an external pumping systems, things like that. Our systems here are not only designed to work great, we want them to be beautiful too. So we don't want to have, you know, the pressure filters here and the pumps outside, you know, that way. We can make them more beautiful. And by making them more beautiful, they work better too. So at any rate, so we pull the pump off the bottom of the pond, put it into the skimmer, and now all of a sudden, all of this debris, before it has a chance to drop to the bottom of the pond, all of this debris gets sucked over into the skimmer. And so our basket in here collects all of that debris. Does that make sense? When we first started building ponds, you know, we would put the pump on the very, very bottom of the ponds. And obviously what would happen is all the debris that's getting into the pond would go down and clog that pump. You'd have to put on your scuba gear, go down, unclog the pump. The debris would just build up on the bottom of the pond. You'd have to drain the ponds down all the time, and it's just a high maintenance nightmare. With all of that extra debris in there, well, guess what happens? It starts to break down. It starts to emit poisonous gases into the water, so your fish aren't happy. The water's never crystal clear. It's brown, it's murky, it's green, it's just a mess. So the initial ponds back 30 years ago were very, very high maintenance and not very pretty to look at. The water quality was just terrible. They were just high maintenance nightmares. So a lot of those ponds had to get changed right away and upgraded on filter systems, or they just got filled in because people got frustrated. And so it became my life mission to make sure that people can realize, hey, now we can have crystal clear water, happy, healthy fish, and not a lot of work. So the very first thing. So that's the skimmer. On this particular skimmer, the plumbing is going to come out the side, so it's underground. This gets dug in the pond, so you don't see it. If you walk through our garden out back here, you'll see that the skimmers are kind of hidden. You have to look for them, but it's underground. The plumbing comes out underground. So again, back to your example of above ground filters and above ground pumping systems. This particular skimmer here and all of our skimmers, the plumbing is underground. The great advantage of that is, number one, you don't see any of the plumbing because who wants to see it? Number two, I can actually leave all of these ponds running all winter long because those pipes are underground. The water's flowing fast enough through there. We do have some rules about pump sizes and pipe sizes to make sure that it works well in wintertime. But for the most part, all of our ponds out here stay running just like they are all winter long because that plumbing is running underground. So this skimmer system allows us to do that as well. So you'll see all of our skimmers have these doors on them. On our larger skimmers, this door actually acts as a maintenance tool. We can shut the door and draw the water level down in the skimmer, and then we can get access to all the parts and everything in a dry skimmer. The other role of the door is that it actually, without the door, we're going to be sucking water, you know, about 6 inches of water coming in. With the door floats, so we're only sucking in about 1 inch of water. So we have 5,000 gallons of water going over that 1 inch. It's moving a lot faster than if it's going in 6 inches. So the door helps to pull debris from all the corners of the pond. So the doors help to increase the efficiency. All right. And so we have 3 different size skimmers here. And this is our small skimmer. So our small skimmer, Econo skimmer, has a black plastic lid on it. Once you start getting up to the bigger skimmers, we have these plastic fake rocks on them. This guy here has a mesh net as your debris basket. The next size skimmer up has a medium basket, and then the big skimmer has a big basket. So choose your basket size based on how much debris is around your pond. So my personal pond has black walnut tree over here, cherry tree over there, ash tree over here. What else is over there? There's a dogwood tree over here. It's just so many big trees around there. So this basket right here has a great little handle on it. So you can see, like, you know, I can go weeks, months without emptying the skimmer basket. But once the skimmer basket gets full, it's time to lift it up and empty it. If I put a small basket on my pond, it'd be a lot more work for me because I would have to empty it whenever this fills up. So if I've got a lot of debris, I want to go as big as my budget allows on the skimmer. And so we have 3 different size skimmers here, but 30 by 40 on the big one, probably 20 by 20 on the medium one, and then the 10 by 10 on the small one. You know, is the general rule of thumb, you know, through there. So, so my personal pond is 30 by 40. This is the skimmer that I have. That big basket, that's the skimmer I have. That's about the biggest pond that I can use this skimmer on. If we have a pond that's bigger than that, and we do them all the time, we will either custom make a skimmer or we'll put multiple skimmers on. Most of the time as a designer, my personal preference is I don't want to see multiple skimmers. I'll put one skimmer on and then we'll start to customize. So that's skimming filtration. Does that make sense? Good, okay. So the idea, just to summarize, is that we want to have a pump powerful enough to pull debris from every corner of the pond, and we want to have a basket big enough to handle all of the debris that's around it.